Hello, my name is Giuliano. I am the editor of Lorenzo Magnifico from Crane Creations. So I will explain you the game in just 5 minutes now. This is the board game. As you can see, it's quite complex. The game is quite complex, but the rules are very easy to learn. As you can see, we have different areas. Each player has a personal board here, with space for the resources and 4 family members. This is my 4 red family members. On top of each family members, you see a symbol related to a colored die. The colored dice are here. So at the beginning of the round, we throw these 3 dice, and for the current round, all the family members related to a specific die has this value. That means that each time I place this family member has, for example, 6 during this round. If I throw a 3, this family member counts as 3. So the dice is not a lucky, consequences on the game, because this value are common to all the players. Basically, the game is a working placement game. As you can see, all these symbols in the board are action space where you can place your family member. There are 5 different areas in the board games. These 4 towers are the towers for the development cards. So when I place my family member here, I can take this card and place it on my personal board. There are 4 different kinds of development cards. We have territories, buildings, characters, and ventures. I collect the cards I take here on my personal boards. Some of them are useful during the game because, for example, territories and buildings give me resources when I activate them. Other cards, like characters and ventures cards, are useful at the end of the game. Another action space is the Council Palace. When I place here, I immediately receive a bonus, and at the end of the turn, the round order changes in relation on which player places first here. Then we have the 4 market action spaces. Here I immediately receive some bonuses. And then we have the harvest and production action spaces. On the harvest action space, I activate all my territory cards. On the production space, I activate all my building cards. For example, if I have these 2 buildings and I perform a production action, I activate only the buildings that have the same or lower activating value than the action I am performing. For example, this card here has an activation value of 1, and this one has an activation value of 6. So, if I perform a production action, the value of my family member determines the value of the action. So, for example, my white family member during this round has a value of 5. So if I perform this action has a value of 5, so I activate only this card. Fortunately, I can spend servants to add value to my family members. So if I spend 1 servant, the action has +1 on its value. So I can only spend 1 servant to activate both the buildings. In the game, you collect resources, you change resources, and you collect points. There are 3 different kinds of points. We have victory points. You use them to win the game at the end. We have military points here. The military points are useful to collect the territories, because territory cards has no cost, but you must have military strength to conquer them. And then we have fate points here. because there is a phase in the game called Vatican Report, after 2, 4 or 6 rounds, where you must show your faith to the Vatican. If you don't have enough faith, you suffer an excommunication. So if you suffer an excommunication, you will receive a malus for the rest of the game. So the point of the faith track is have enough faith points to prevent this excommunication malus. So this is the overview of the game. We have, I said, 4 different kind of cards. We have 96 different development cards. And one more thing. In the complete game, I show you the basic games. We have this deck too. This deck is the leader cards deck. So in the complete game, each player starts with 4 different leader cards game in the hand. And during the game, when you have enough resource to play these leader cards, you just play them beside you and they give you some extremely powerful bonus during the game. Just a quick example. For example, this Ludovico il Moro. You can play it if you have 2 cards of each kind already on your personal board. But once you have Ludovico il Moro on your side, all your family member has a value of 5. You don't look the die no more. So even if you throw 3-1 in a round, your family member has a value of 5. So the leaders are extremely powerful, but they have an expensive requirements to be played. So as you can see, the rules are quite simple. It's just a working placing game. The good things in the game is that the family members have always different values, but the value are the same for each player. So the strategic part of the game is to decide first which things are more useful for us. There is no way to block the other players except taking a card that they want, but I take the card, so it's not only blocking other players, and that's the explanation of the game. I hope it's all understandable.
Okay, thank you.